Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls, Golden What If, whatever you want to call me. Back with a new What If movie. What if Deku had a ghost Quirk? For starters, sorry for the lack of uploads. I know it's almost been a week. I think it's been about 5 days since my last upload. I've been just committed to making this. I think that will tell you how long this will most likely be. I've been committed to making this, and yeah, all my attention has just been on this solely. So that's why it's basically taken me so long to actually finally finish it. But I'm finally done now, and now we're here. So yeah, for starters, I do want to say, just offer it, that I got this idea from a fan-made comic. I can't exactly remember what it was called, but I can give you an idea of what it was. It was basically like Deku gaining a quirk from, like gaining some sort of type of ghost quirk through certain actions that obviously in the beginning of the story you'll understand. But I'm sure if you look up like Ghost Deku, something like that, you'll probably find it. If I end up finding out what it is exactly, I'll probably have it linked in the description, so just go check that out. Obviously it's not a copy and paste, nowhere near for the comic. I'm pretty sure the comic was like maybe 30 seconds to a minute, so this is way different. But that's kind of where I got inspiration from. I just wanted to preference that before we started, if anybody knew about the comic I was talking about. Yeah, with that said, please get your popcorn, get your drink, get whatever you need, because boys and girls, this is gonna be a long one. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm not gonna waste any more of your time, and let's get it. There was once a boy. All he wanted to do was become a hero, like his idol, All Might. Until one day. Sorry, not gonna happen, kid. In a world of people with superhuman abilities called quirks, Izuku Midoriya was born quirkless. He was bullied every day, day in and day out, for countless years for being quirkless. Useless Deku, you can't be a hero without a quirk. Even teachers, kids, everyone made fun of him for being quirkless, something he couldn't even control. People would tell him, can't be a teacher, the kids won't respect you. Can't be a hero, you'll be just a liability. Can't be a hero coordinator. What hero would want a quirkless nobody helping them? Even with all that pulling him down, Izuku Midoriya still wanted to persevere to become the best hero he could be. Now flash forward. Listen up, kids. I want to hand out I was gonna hand out a job application test, but I know all of you want to go down the hero route. Throwing the papers in the air, and the students suddenly just begin to flash their quirks, except for 2 kids in the back. We actually have kids of our own wanting to go to UA High, the most prestigious school. Bakugo has a very high chance of actually getting in. Oh yeah, Midoriya, don't you want to get in as well? The whole class just begins to erupt in laughter. Like you could be a hero, you quirkless. Bakugo then slams his hand on the table, making a small explosion. You nerd, you will never get in. Just give up now. Then the bell rings and everyone begins to leave. But Bakugo stays behind just to berate Midoriya for trying to get into UA. Stupid Deku, you can't even get in without a quirk. Useless. Then blowing up his journal, his hero journal, number 13. Kachan, what the heck? Why would you do that? Deku, you can't get into UA, and you won't hear me? Without a quirk, you're useless. Actually, I have a way. Actually, I have a way for you to get a quirk. Take a swan dive off the roof of the building and pray that you have a quirk in your next life. As Bakugo leaves, Deku is just in complete agony and sadness. He begins to walk home and decides to go the long way to think about what Bakugo has said. As he walks through the tunnel, right above the sewer system, a green sludge monster came springing out. Kid, I need your body. I did not know he was in this town. I need to get out of here. As the sludge villain begins to grab Deku and begin to suffocate him, his life begins to flash before him. As the oxygen left his lungs, Izuku Midoriya was lifeless in the sludge villain's body. All Might then smashing the villain to tons of pieces, filling the pulse of this green-haired boy was non-existent. Until Deku's eyes just reawaken. And he begins to, just from his perspective, fall through the ground below him. As he looks up, he sees his body. He flies back up to where he was, and he enters his body, sitting up. Kid, you're okay? Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I think my quirk awakened. Deku feels his own pulse, and there is none. No pulse. All Might in complete shock tells the kid that he's just glad he's okay, and he flies off with the sludge villain, like in the bottles. Deku then grabs his notebook that he burnt that was burnt earlier, seeing All Might's signature in his notebook. And he just like geeks out, like, oh my god, All Might just signed my notebook. And then he goes home and begins to explain everything to his mom. Then going to the quirk doctor the next day. Well, kid, you definitely have a quirk. Some quirks do awaken only under certain circumstances, so it's not too outlandish. I will tell you though, I've never heard of a quirk awakening from literal death. Well, kid, let me tell you what your quirk is. So we deem it the quirk as ghost. It seems that since you no longer have a pulse, you most likely won't get tired, and you have the ability to phase through things. Not sure if there's anything else to it because of the lack of knowledge, obviously, but feel free to come back if you need any explanations that maybe occur, and maybe we can have an explanation for you, but there's no guarantees. After this occurrence, the whole school actually learned about what happened to Midoriya. Everyone, for a while, actually decided to leave him alone. Deku, as he gets to school every day, there was always food on his desk, from like here on out. And Bakugo, his tormentor, always walks him home from school. For a while, Deku never questioned it, but one day he asked Kacchan what was wrong. Kacchan, what's wrong? What do you mean, what's wrong, nerd? I'm worried about you, Kacchan. Worried about me? Fuck off. Kacchan, seriously, what's wrong? You know what's wrong, Deku? You died. You died because of me. I told you to jump off the roof. And now I hear that you died, and somehow your quirk brought you back to life? You had a quirk the whole time? Kacchan, tell me I'm wrong. You're dead because of me. No, Kacchan. It was a villain. I could never. And now, you have a quirk? I'm sorry, Deku. Kacchan, it's okay. They then both hug. Okay, but you need to get better with your quirk. So if you want someone to train you, you know, who doesn't suck, I guess I can help you out. Thanks, Kacchan. They both agree to train together for the next 9.5 months before the entrance exam. And they do so, advancing both of their quirks a lot and doing a lot of one-on-one combat training that has helped their fighting abilities. Deku learns various abilities like possession for limited time, complete phasing of his body, partial flying that he doesn't have complete control over, but he's getting better at. After using the rest of the time to like study for the written portion of the exam, obviously, Deku is now finally ready to take his exam. In the morning, he meets up with Bakugo and then begins to head toward where the exam is held. So Kacchan, how do you think we'll do? The practical will be no sweat, and as long as you study for the written, you'll be fine. Yeah, you're right, Kacchan. I just want to get the best possible score. Well, nerd, you'll always be second when I'm around. Yeah, whatever, Kacchan. They get to the exam place, and a girl with brown hair is seen walking, and she almost falls right on her face. But using his new technique, astral plane, he sends himself in a spiritual form to catch her from falling. She's super surprised about what just happened, and that she didn't even use her own quirk. Until she stands up, and Deku walks over with Bakugo asking if she is okay, and she responds, "Yeah, I'm fine." "Wait, did you stop me from falling?" Deku then explains to her that it's part of his quirk called Astral Plane. She then smiles and thanks him and wishes him good luck. After the encounter, Bakugo looks at Deku making fun of him. "Didn't know you were such a ladies' man, Deku." "Stop it, Kachan." After that encounter, they both head in and begin and finish the written exam. Then President Mike explains them the breakdown of the practical, and all of them head out to Ground Gamma. It sucks I won't be able to do this with Kachan, but I guess this does make it easier to compete with him. He then sees the girl that he caught earlier and goes to talk to her until this boy with a very stern voice tells him, "I will not let you sabotage that girl." "I'm not going to do that. I just want to talk to her." "Well, I won't allow that either." Deku then just ignores him and just phases through his body. Before he can get to her, like, the practical just starts. "Go, go, go, go! There's no countdown in a real battle!" Deku just goes around entering robots and destroying them, getting tons of points, getting about 40 robot points, until this huge 0-pointer came out of nowhere. He was about to just slide away using his quirk until he hears someone. "Help! I'm stuck!" Pause. Sorry, that sounded wrong. Okay, that girl, that same girl under a bunch of rubble. In an instance, Deku leapt into action. "I'm not sure if this will work because of how big this thing is, but it's the only thing I can think of." He temporarily flies into the air and tries to possess the massive robot, and in doing so, he's able to force it to fall backwards, jumping out, and then pushing the rubble off the girl and carrying her out of harm's way. The practical is now over. Thank God. He puts her down and just passes out. As he wakes up, a group of people surround him in the hospital, including that girl. "Are you okay? We took your pulse and you had no pulse." He begins to chuckle for a second. That is kind of part of my quirk. I don't technically have a heartbeat. "So does that mean you're immortal?" "Honestly, I'm not sure, but I would rather not test that out." And he begins to just laugh. After talking for a bit, he exchanges names and numbers with the girl, and Deku leaves home. Now knowing that this girl is Uraraka, or Ochako Uraraka. Getting home, he apologized to his mom and that he fainted out of overuse of his quirk, but he's okay. And they felt no pulse. But then I just woke up, so, and they just didn't know how my quirk worked. They kind of just both laugh about it because it's such an abnormal thing to have a quirk do, and they really were like, thought he just, kicked the can. After a week of waiting, the letter finally came. Azuku, the letter from UA. It's finally here." Grabbing the letter, he fumbles it and drops it on the ground, and a hologram pops up. "I am here, coming to you through this video message. Azuku Midoriya. When I met you, you were lying on the ground without a pulse. And according to what you said, your awakening of a brand new quirk brought you from the dead. And now you have a chance to save countless lives. You gained 40 villain points, which in normal circumstances would have put you at the midpoint of acceptance. But there was a hidden portion for hero points, and you saving that young lady from a 0-pointer was your ticket to the top student in the entrance exam, racking up 100 rescue points, giving you a total of 140, making you the #1 student. #1 student? Azuka Midoriya. As you can guess, I will be teaching at UA, and I can't wait to see you become a future hero with UA's guidance. Deku and his mother just begin to cry. I'm so proud of you, my son. As this occurs, he hears his phone ringing. He wipes his tears. Oh, it's Kachan. Hey, Kachan, what's up? Damn it, nerd. You got number 1, didn't you? Wait, how did you know that? Because I got number 2. Hey, at least we both got in, Kachan. Yeah, whatever, nerd. You still up for some training before you go into UA? Heck yeah, I am. Deku and Bakugo can continue to train together before the first day of going to UA, and trying to like master movement in their quirks through. Well, for one, Bakugo's flying with explosions, and Deku flying with his hybrid ghost form outside of Astral Plane. After some days of training, the first day of UA came along. Deku leaves his house, and when he gets to UA, he searches a bit, coming across a room with a large door with 1A on it. He comes into a blue-haired boy yelling at Bakugo. Sorry, I need to drink something. Deku begins to laugh a bit at Bakugo. What are you laughing at, nerd? Sorry, Kachan. Just funny to see seeing someone, this guy, just yell at you, man. The kid with blue hair introduces himself as Tenya Ida. You are the superior student to me. How did you know that there was more to the exam? As Deku is about to respond, he hears something from behind him. Hey, Midoriya. Oh, Uraraka. I'm glad to see you here. Same to you. But I mean, I was sure we both passed. They both like kind of like, you know, like laugh, and then kind of their faces go red, and they cover each other. They just cover their faces. If you're just here to make friends, just go home now. Hearing this, everyone just darts to their seats. I'm your homeroom teacher, Mr. Aizawa. Here, put these on and meet me at the training field. What about quarantine? Or, whoa, dude, what am I, dude? Am I good? Sorry. What about orientation? We don't have time for meaningless things like that. That's ironic that I said quarantine with whatever. Now put on these and meet me at the training ground. As they all meet Mr. Aizawa there, he holds a ball in his hand. Midoriya, you got the highest score on the entrance exam. So throw this ball using your quirk. Like any part of my quirk? Yes, Midoriya. Any part of your quirk. Deku then winds up and gets ready to throw it. He launches it about 80 meters in the air. But as the ball peaks, Deku just seemingly falls in like this blank stare. Like he's not even there anymore. The ball just keeps going and going and going until the blank stare vanishes from Deku and the ball begins to drop down back to the ground. 2,000 meters. Pretty good, Midoriya. Everyone begins to murmur about how he did and that it looked like the ball wasn't even going that very far until like it just stopped midair and kept going. Before Deku can say anything, Aizawa chimes in. Let me take a guess, Midoriya. Part of your quirk allows you to send your being out of your body for a short period of time, am I right? Yeah, basically. That's not cheating, right? Nope. Good job. Everyone begins to say how fun this will be until Mr. Aizawa says, oh, fun, huh? Well, how about this? Whoever gets the lowest score will be expelled. The quirk exam goes along with Deku getting pretty good scores in most categories, making it so he doesn't really have a chance to fail at all. Like he's like top 3. At the end of it all, the results are shown with Mineta in last place. Aizawa then says, no one's going home. It was just a logical ruse to make you try your hardest. Now go get changed. Everyone just sighs in relief like, oh my god, thank god. After a hard first day, Deku begins to head to the bus with Uraraka and Ida. They both then ask why Bakugo calls him Deku, and he says that it was a name to make fun of him. But now it kind of just sticks. Uraraka then says that she thinks it sounds kind of cute. Like, you can do it. He then blushes and thanks her, and they all head home. The next day, they're all in class waiting for their first day of battle trials. I am here! As All Might busts through the door. All Might? Yes, it's me! Everyone follow me and get on your hero costumes. All in agreement, they get dressed and head over with All Might. Today we will be doing battle trials. It will be heroes versus villains, and the heroes must capture the bomb or capture the villains to win. Now, here are the teams, giving out team letters for each person, pairing up Deku with Uraraka, who is Team D. Okay, for the first match, it is Team D versus Team A, which is Bakugo and Ida. D team will be heroes, and A team will be the villains. Heroes, you have 5 minutes to plan.
Okay, Deku, what's the plan?
Okay, so I could scout where the bomb is using my quirk, but one problem is that Kacchan will most likely expect that and try to mislead my astral form in the wrong direction. Also, my ghost form, I can only fly for so long, so honestly, I'm not sure if I can actually get up there properly. But I have an idea. Here's the plan. As the 5 minutes end, Deku enters Astral Plane and begins to try and find the bomb. After about 30 seconds, Deku wakes up from his trance. So the bomb is on the 3rd floor, but I'm not sure exactly where. Okay, so plan A, yup, hit me. Deku then tells Uraraka, yup, hit me. Uraraka then touches Deku's back before he enters ghost form, and then allows Deku to have full control over his flight for a longer period of time. He then finds the bomb and touches it, just like that, saying, "Phantom Float! Hero team wins." Ida then turns around, "Wait, what the heck?" Like Bakugo said your flying was limited. It is, but Uraraka made up for that. As they get back to All Might, he says that Deku is the MVP for coming up with the fastest and most effective plan as possible. Thanks, All Might. All the other battle trials go about normal, and the day ends. When they arrive, they go through all that class president stuff as usual, and we're going to just say that Momo and Tenya get voted in. Makes it a lot easier, because that's where we end up anyways. I'm not trying to run circles here. As the day continues, Mr. Aizawa then tells the class that they will be doing rescue training. Everyone is excited except for Shoto and Bakugo, who just keep the same expression as usual. Ida tries to get everyone on the bus in an orderly manner until he realizes that the bus is in an open format. Oh no! They then begin to just talk about who has the strongest quirk, going from Bakugo to Shoto and even Deku. Asui saying that the only problem with Deku is that his quirk isn't very flashy. Bakugo then chimes in, "Yeah, it may not be flashy, but sure as hell does the job. And it is a perfect combo for other quirks." Everyone's shocked at the fact that Bakugo literally said something, kind of like he was prideful of Deku. Whatever, I just know that because I've trained with the nerd a lot. Fuck off. Going into silence. Okay, we're here. Be quiet and get off the bus. Everyone exits and they enter enter the hero. 13 is now waiting. 13 begins to explain what they will be doing and goes over the idea that a hero is more than just fighting villains. As she says this, a huge portal opens and tons of villains come out, with a man with hands on his face and a gigantic creature next to him. 13. Get the students to safety, as Eraserhead jumps into action, defending it against all the villains. Let's get out of here, kids. As 13 is about to get out with kids, Kurogiri shows up in front of them, refusing to let them leave. As this happens, Kirishima, Bakugo, and Midoriya jump into action, with Deku in the front, entering ghost form as he screams, "Kacchan, now!" As at the same time, they both say, "Phantom Explosion!" When right near Kurogiri, Deku enters his transparent-ish form, guiding Bakugo's explosion to the most critical point on Kurogiri. In doing so, it directly hits the metal on the warp villain. This allows Bakugo to pin him down and keep him from actually moving. "Deku, now! Go get help!" Flying to Uraraka and deforming for a second to get her gravity. "If you feel sick, Feel free to... Sorry, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, boys. We're back. Okay, so we're... Alright. So basically, flying to Uraraka and deforming for a second to get her gravity, and he basically tells her, if you feel sick, feel free to release. Like, whenever you need. Flying away as fast as possible. 13 looking at them. Smart kids. UA got some good ones this year. Bakugo, 13 says, keep him there. I need to go help Eraserhead. Whoever has a way to pin him down with a quirk, please do so. 13 then jumps into the fight, easily defeating some of the villains for Aizawa. My bad. Until the monster enters the action. Nomu. Kill them both. Attacking them, almost killing Aizawa and wounding 13 pretty bad. Deku then flies back in. Deku, where are they? On their way. But one of them is just as fast, or maybe even faster than me. All Might then comes crashing in. I am here! Dashing in, saving both Aizawa and 13. Your fight is with me, villain! No, it's with him. As the monster by the name of Nomu charges at All Might, and they begin to go blow for blow. Till All Might seemingly catches the Nomu off guard, landing 20 punches clean, launching into the air. All Might then thinks, it shouldn't have been that easy. As he looks behind him, Deku collapses from overuse of his quirk, and smiles and laughs. Great job, kid. Damn it. Damn it. It shouldn't have ended like this. This can't be game over, screen. I haven't won yet. Wait, the other villains. Yes. Kurogiri, now! Kurogiri then teleports away while taking a massive hit from Bakugo and grabs all the excess villains and puts them on the battlefield. With his last bit of energy, he teleports him and Shigaraki out of the battlefield. Damn it. It's fine. Some other day. All the heroes then arrive, swiftly taking out the villains and sending them all to jail. As they are leaving, All Might walks up to Deku. Kid, you stunned that Nomu, huh? Well, sorta. I astral plane to possess him, but I feel what he feels, or whatever that thing was. And so I had to keep turning my quirk off and on repeatedly, so I wouldn't take much damage, but I think I felt one of those hits. Minorly, because my stomach hurts. After that day, they were given a little time off to relax and rest, which Deku took after that overuse of his quirk, and in 2 days they returned back to school. Aizawa then explained to them that the UA Sports Festival is approaching and that there is a chance to get noticed by pro heroes. Before this all occurs, All Might at lunch asked to speak with Midoriya. Young Midoriya, this may seem crazy, but after full evaluation of you as a person and potential hero, I want to offer you something. My power that I hold, I wanted to pass it along to you. Combined with your quirk, I know you could do amazing things. #1 hero, as I know you want to be, and even more. Honestly, All Might, when I gained the quirk I currently have, I was shocked and afraid at the same time. I live in this buzzworld. Everything is so fuzzy. I never know if I could truly just wake up in the afterlife itself. This quirk, though, has given me purpose, and ironically life itself. As honored as I am by the gesture and how many questions I have, I think I have to decline. I feel as if I owe my quirk this, to become #1 hero on my own. Give my quirk life in this world, like it gave me. I understand, young Midoriya. I really do. All Might, look close and hard. There are some amazing possible successors out there. And I'm sure right now you have a possibility. You have one possibility in mind. I would wait till the end of the sports festival and see if anyone pops out. And if not, the big three is always an option. Thanks, young Midoriya. By the way, I know you could become #1 hero without my quirk. You could do amazing things. And I will be watching. Thanks, All Might. The next day is the UA Sports Festival, and as the whole class, when it comes into the stadium, the whole crowd begins to just roar. Whoa, this is crazy. Don't get all struck Deku. Still got a speech to do. I know, Kachan. Midnight then introduces Deku to the stage to give his speech as the class rep. Growing up, I dreamed of this day. Frankly, I'm sure all of us did. But most of all, I just want to see everyone go out and give it their best to win. And I'm sure y'all want to see that too. So we are all going to give the show of a lifetime. And when it's all over, I will be the winner. Deku then smiles and walks down to his class. Everyone then tells Deku how good the speech was. It could have been better. I was a little nervous. Midnight then announces the first part of the festival. The obstacle race. All the classes begin to line up, ready to go. 1 second. Deku in a full sprint just runs into the big corridor. Ice freezes it over, but Deku just continues to run and keep up with a full speed ahead. With a full speed ahead Shoto. Deku, when approaching the 0-point robots, sees that they are falling over, so he just temporarily goes into ghost form and phases through it. Both Shoto and Deku are neck and neck, until you can hear Bakugo from behind, flying with his explosions to catch up. Finally making it to the canyon, where Shoto just slides across, Bakugo flies, and Deku follows suit and flies over the area. Making it to the mines, Shoto and Bakugo try to be careful with the mines, but Deku, close behind, enters ghost form and just begins to full sprint run through them, flickering in and out of his form, so the mines will explode, slowing down the others. He then finishes the race without even really breaking a sweat. I mean, yeah. Shoto then makes it second and Bakugo right after. Damn it, nerd. I hate you and your infinite stamina bullshit. Shoto then looks at Deku. Infinite stamina? Well, sort of. Overuse of my quirk still takes a toll on my body, but since I don't have a pulse, I haven't been tired in terms of physical activity. Not exactly sure how that works, but yeah. After everyone finishes the cavalry battle, it's announced, saying that the person in first will be worth 10 million points. Deku internally just freaking out until he's able to finally team up with 3 people that volunteer, more or less, because nobody wants to team up with the guy with 10 million points. He teams up with Uraraka, Mei Hatsume, and Tokiyami. They then devise a plan, and the cavalry battle begins. The battle begins with their team being attacked right off the bat, but with the help of Dark Shadow, they're able to defend. This continues for a while until Team Shoto begins to make their move. Using Ida's speed, they are in hot pursuit of Team Deku, until Ida just stops mid-run, and they all fall over, allowing for Deku's team to create space. The goal they had in mind was basically to have Dark Shadow defend as much as possible and move around. But when someone closed the distance, Deku would astral plane to possess them and basically have them slow down or even fall. They decided to keep this like occurring until the end, just in case. Deku ran into his body's limit while flicking off his quirk like this. After one final push, one final push toward Deku's team, to get the headbands, everyone just falls over, and there it is, it's over. but all the people in canon, same thing, pass, and the next round begins. The final part of the festival is one-on-one battles. The contestant will be given a small break, and then we will jump right into it. When the break ends, the matches begin. The first match is Izuku Midoriya versus Hitoshi Shinso. Before it starts, Ojiro tells Deku about how, when he answered a question, that he was no longer able to control his body. Deku then responds, "Oh yeah, I was watching him. Interesting guy, very strong quirk. With that said, gives me a chance to try something out." As the match begins, Satoshi begins to scream at Deku. How it's just like, "You're so lucky to have a strong quirk. For people to admire you." Deku then smirks and responds with, "If you had any clue how I got this quirk, you wouldn't be saying that." Shinso then smiles. "Throw yourself out the ring." Shinso then just stops talking and walks out himself. Then Deku exits his trance. "How did you know? That makes no sense. I had you." "You did, but part of my quirk already puts me under a state of idleness. So I used that part and controlled you with my possession to make you walk out. Listen, Shinso, you can be a great hero, and I know you're in General Ed, but your quirk is very strong. And honestly, about me being lucky, you're right. I got my quirk because a villain literally killed me." "I guess we are both different, huh? What do you mean killed you?" "My unawakened quirk brought me back to life. Sometimes I feel like I'm dead, and like it's just my imagination. But I still push forward and use the gifts that I was given." Deku then picks up Shinso. "Maybe we can train sometime. I'd love to learn more about your quirk." Shinso agrees and they walk off. "I'm not gonna waste your time. The next fights, like Shoto versus Sero and Mei versus Tenya, they go about the same. There's no reason to change that. So let's just get right into Shoto versus Deku. As Deku begins to head over to the stage/arena, he is stopped by someone. Endeavor, the number 2 pro hero. "Midoriya, is it? Please get my son to use his fire quirk. Help him escape this childish escapade." Endeavor, "Frankly, I have nothing to say to you. Frankly, I would be nerding out right now. But not sure if it's my quirk or my near-death experience that has shown me who people truly are. I'm gonna get Shoto to use fire, but not for you. For him. Because at the end of the day, he isn't you." Deku then walks away, and furious, Endeavor tries to grab him until he's just frozen. "Nope, don't even try that." They make it to the stage, and their fight begins. Shoto just shoots out tons of ice at Deku. Deku then jumps through it, punching him in the stomach. Jumping back, Deku asks him something. "Do you know why Kachan is such a good matchup for me?" Because of his explosions, I assume." "Yeah, but more importantly, his smoke slows me down. I have infinite stamina, but I don't have infinite lungs. Slows down my breathing, slows down my bodily functions. Why are you telling me this, Midoriya? Everyone is giving it their all. But you want to use half your power? You won't win. Then I'll lose with half my quirk. I won't use my old man's quirk. But it's yours. It's your quirk, not his. I could end this right now, Shoto. Possess you and just throw you out. But I want to fight. I want one of the top students in our class to show his true potential. You wouldn't understand, Midoriya. The thing is, I do. I didn't even have a quirk until I died. And this quirk right now brought me back. It doesn't feel real sometimes. But I'm here. I'm not wasting the life I was given. Please don't waste yours. Everything goes silent until a huge burst of flames ignite. Midoriya, you really aren't taking this serious, huh? Perfect. They begin to fight, with Shoto trying to smoke up the air, and it does begin to slow down Deku. Until Deku enters the smoke directly. Sorry. Enters smoke directly. I could see you, Midoriya, blasting at the outline of someone, until the outline was just gone. Midoriya then came from the floor below, like an afterimage, using the force from his momentum to blast Shoto out of the ring, crushing into the wall. Deku walks over to him. Great fight, Shoto. Picking him up. You too, Midoriya. After some of the fights, Deku is once again up against Ida. Good luck, Ida. Let's make this a good one. Definitely, Midoriya. The fight begins, and frankly, this isn't even fair. Ida relies on physical attacks. Midoriya knocks him out pretty quick. It's pretty simple. I'm not going to go into details on that one. They basically greet each other and say, like, thank you for the fight, all that, you know, friendly stuff. Deku then looks up into the stands at Kacchan, pointing at him and smiling. You damn nerd. This will be fun. After the other fights go just as normal, what we all been waiting for is now happening. Bakugo Katsuki versus Izuku Midoriya. The fight begins fast. Bakugo knows that he needs to slow him down immediately and rushes in, exploding the ground around Deku while he dodges what seems to be explosions directed at him. Deku then hits Bakugo in the face with a right hand, and Bakugo explodes the rest of his body, but nothing happens. Exactly what I thought. Bakugo then waits for Deku to strike once again. This time, left hand comes in. Bakugo catches it, swinging him upward, and then backward, so he would land on his feet. As he does this, he pre-fires an explosion, knowing that Deku will unghost to catch himself, landing a solid hit on Deku's back. Damn, Kacchan, that one hurt. I see what you did there. Smart. How about this? Deku then falls still. Bakugo then retreats to the crowd's surprise. What is he doing? There's a distance to this astral thing, Deku. I know that. Exiting astral form, Deku responds. You really are prepared for this, huh? They both begin to laugh, and when Bakugo charges in, he sees Deku go still. He goes still once again, hoping to dodge the astral form from possessing him. He makes a sharp turn and continues toward Deku. But he was faking. He wasn't even in astral form. Deku then flies through the explosion, kicking Bakugo outside the ring. That was a close one, Kacchan. Damn nerd. Can't believe I fell for that. Good fight. Yeah, good fight. They then begin to just laugh it off, and the ceremony begins, and All Might begins to give the kids their medals. When he gets to Bakugo, he congratulates him and that he did amazing, and that the rivalry between you and Midoriya is something to cherish. When he gets to Midoriya, young Midoriya, great job. Perfect picture finish for you, huh? I guess you could say that. As they all walk away, Deku asks what All Might whispered to Bakugo. Nothing important, nerd. But I will be beating you the next time we fight. I'll count on it, Kacchan. Deku then looks away smiling, having a good idea what All Might ask Bakugo, or is going to ask him very soon. After 2 days, school then resumes. Okay, class. Listen up. I will be showing you the internship offers you have. Showing that there are tons of offers for Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto. By the end of the day, I need your final decisions. But in the meantime, you will be picking your hero names. Since I'm not good with this stuff, Midnight will be helping you. As everyone goes, just like in canon, Deku then proceeds. The Phantom Hero, Deku. I feel like I like the little extra, you know, added to it. I think we can agree on that. If you disagree with the name I put, leave in the comments below what name you would have put. We can argue about that in the comments. Midnight then says that she loves the name, and that next up is Bakugo. And after a couple of questionable names, he comes up with this. The Explosion Hero. Ground Zero. Agreeing on the name, the students now need to figure out what internships they're going to. After some thinking, Deku decides on where he wants to go. Yo, Shoto, where are you going? Going with my dad, Midoriya. Oh, really? That's good. I guess I'll see you there. What? You're interning with my dad? Yeah, why not? Like, none of these other heroes have similar quirks to me. I mean, might as well go to the number two hero, am I right? Deku then smiles and leaves the classroom. As he leaves, he hears All Might come in and say, I am here! And he begins to talk to Bakugo. So, Kanchan, I was right. The next day, everyone meets up at the train station, and Ida and Uraraka and Deku begin talking, asking if Ida's okay. And he seems off since the occurrence that happened with his brother. Ida then says, please don't worry about it. It's okay. Everything's fine. Ida, don't do anything rash, okay? I won't, Midoriya. Don't worry. Midoriya and Ida then leave, but... Midoriya and Uraraka leave, but obviously not convinced, like, of what his friend may or may not do. Midoriya then heads to Endeavor's agency with Shoto, pretty anxious because of the last encounter that he had with Endeavor. When they get there, Endeavor greets them, telling them that they won't be here long. That we're going to Hosu to hunt down the hero killer. All in partial agreement, at least. They head out. When they get there, there's just a fire and Nomu's covering the area. They all jump into action. And then out of nowhere, just Deku has this thought in his back of his mind. The hero killer? Ida? Hosu? Shoto. Ida's hunting down the hero killer. We have to go. They both run off. Shoto telling his dad to send reinforcements his way when they get done here. Stupid kid. Revenge, huh? You're not a true hero, you're just a fake. Stain about to stab Ida just abruptly stops and is blasted with fire. Ida, what are you doing? No, get away. This is my fight. Not anymore, Ida. It's ours. Stain then charges at them. Midoriya, you can't just possess him? No, his willpower is pretty strong. Holding him for long periods of time is not really an option. But I can give you openings. Stay in midair, then freezes, getting covered in ice by Shoto. Damn it, stupid fake heroes! You can die with your friend breaking free. He gets a slash on Deku, licking his blood, leaving Shoto alone. Stain then begins to slowly close the distance. Shoto! Let him close the distance, trust me. What? Okay, if you say so. Stain gets close. Then... Astral Possession! Shoto then blasts him, knocking out the hero killer, but also knocking out Midoriya, because he took partial damage himself from that fire blast when he possessed Stain. Deku then wakes up in the hospital with a bit of a headache and some fire damage, but nothing that will leave a scar. A dog-looking police captain walks in to explain the situation, basically telling them that they could have gotten in serious trouble without using a quirk without their license, but if they give Endeavor the credit, all is fine. Everyone agrees, and in a few days, everyone just agrees, and in a few days, everything is all good. And after talking to Ida about his rash decision, they all are allowed to go back to school. When the class starts, All Might brings everybody to the training field for a rescue race. People like Sero, Ida, Bakugo, Deku, Mina all line up and begin to race at full speed. As the race goes, it seems as if Deku is going to win by a long shot until Bakugo begins to catch up with him using his explosions, but also with red lightning revolving around him. Deku, winning by the skin of his teeth, looks at All Might and then looks at Bakugo and just smiles. Kanchan. What, nerd? So you weren't going to tell me? What? Never mind, Kanchan. as Deku just begins to laugh. The next day, Aizawa explains to them about the final exam, and that there is also a practical exam after the fact. After a bit of time, after a bit of time studying, they all take the written exam, and now they must take the practical. When they get there are teachers standing waiting for them. Nezu then explains to them that the final will be 2 students versus 1 teacher, and that students will be capturing the teacher or escaping their area to pass. They then begin to name off the teams until they get to the last team. And Bakugo and Midoriya, you will be facing. All Might then comes from the sky. I am here and I will be your opponent. Bakugo and Midoriya then smile at each other in excitement. They both walk to the observing area and begin to formulate a plan. Kacchan, what's the plan? To beat his ass. Kacchan, you know it's not that simple. Yeah, I know. Okay, nerd. What is one of your plans? Well, knowing that his willpower is probably pretty strong, I can't just possess him for a long time. But we could use that to set a trap. After the battles finish, it is now Bakugo and Deku to try and defeat the symbol of peace, All Might. Kacchan, first, we have to get as close as possible to the exit. And then we need to win 1 fight, that's it. If we get into trouble, I can get us out. How would you do that, nerd? Trust me, I've been working on something and theoretically it should work. And with your power and ability to make and your power and ability and my ability to make an opening, we should be able to end the fight. You don't sound that confident on that. Like 95%. After all the fights occur, or my bad, sorry, I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now. The fight begins, and Deku and Bakugo are flying where they know the exit is, until All Might comes flying toward them. Detroit Smash! They're like sending a huge Detroit Smash their way. Bakugo slams into the wall, but Deku just phases through the wall behind him. All Might and Bakugo begin going at it, but it seems to be going extremely in the favor of All Might. Bakugo then charges one for all up to 5% and begins to somewhat keep up until Deku behind them begins running toward the exit. Not so fast, young Midoriya. As All Might says this, Deku disappears into transparency. Wait, what? Was he there or? Until Bakugo explodes at All Might and blasts him in the face. Young Bakugo, it didn't work the first time. How would it work now? Out of nowhere from below, Deku grabs his ankles, unghosting his hands and making All Might's feet fall through the ground, getting All Might stuck in the ground. Now, Kacchan! Detroit! Detroit! Hellister Impact! Smashing into All Might at full force. When the smoke goes away, All Might is stuck in the ground and has his hands in capture cuffs. Midoriya and Bakugo pass. Midoriya and Bakugo begin to talk after the fight. Great job, Kacchan. Nerd, what was that? You made his legs phase? When did you learn that? Just been working on it for a bit now, Kacchan. Oh, nice. Gotta show me that more the next time we spar. The next day, Aizawa then announces that they will all be going to the training camp. Instead of, just the ones that passed. And that is a bit of a drive. All of Class 1A gathers, up at the bus, and begins to head over to the camp. During the ride, the bus just abruptly stops, and Aizawa tells everyone to get off the bus. When getting out the bus, the Wild Wild Pussycats appear, and begin explaining that they are here to help them train. Deku then begins to say something, and from behind all you hear is, oh, sorry. Deku begins to say something. Training starts here, huh? Aizawa then chimes in. Yes. Yes, it does. Out of nowhere, the mountain begins to throw off the kids, telling them to make it to the camp. As the dust clears, all the kids are gone. Until Deku reappears. What the? Midoriya, go down with your classmates. Okay, I'm going. As Deku just phases through the ground. After fighting through all the forest, they make it to the camp. Actually faster than normal. Okay. I do apologize for this, but unfortunately I will be skipping the camp. Let's be honest. Not much. I don't see much happening in this scenario. Because of the reveal at the UA Sports Festival. There's really no reason to have villains invade when the person they were after, well, which was Bakugo, didn't really show villainous intent at all. So I feel like this is the best route to go. But they do get the training in, right, for the camp. There is no invasion, unfortunately. But they work on, like, you know, like their base, like Deku works on his basic quirks, like his basic quirk abilities, his usage and ability to phase people and ability to fly. So he definitely gets time to train, but I feel like there's no reason for me to really go in depth with just a training arc. I hope you guys understand that. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel about it. So yeah, so we're just gonna go off from there. But with that said, we will continue. On the way back to school, the area around them seems to be a lot more gloomy until a massive car gets thrown at the bus that they're in. As everyone gets out of the city, the city is practically on fire. Tons of these disfigured monsters begin to just overrun the city as this ominous voice begins to take over the area. Listen close. Listen close. A reckoning is before you, by the hand of me and my followers. Time has come to end Hero Society. Now everyone will vanquish at my hands unless you follow me and become loyal followers. As this transmission occurs, tons of top heroes appear, jumping into from the skies. All Might, Endeavor, Best Genius, all kinds of heroes to face the one known as All for One. Aizawa begins to escort the kids somewhere else while the battle commences. They get to a secluded area and begin to watch the pro heroes fight the underlings of, like, All for One, as All Might fights him by himself. Bakugo and Midoriya begin to think to themselves that they wish they could help All Might in this fight. Deku. Yeah, I know, but he basically responds to Bakugo here that he knows what he's thinking. He's like, yeah, I know, but I need an opening to do it, Kachan. But I can't even reach that far, can I? Nerd, you've been training for a reason. What you got to lose? Well, sort of my life. If I get too far away from my body, I don't know if I'll be able to attach back to it, and I may not be able to return to it. Are you serious, nerd? Yes, but I should be able to do it. What if Aizawa cancels your quirk? You know he wouldn't do that. How about I do? Aizawa, I heard what you guys were talking about. If you can give All Might an opening without leaving from here, I'm all for it. But if I see you slipping out of your body, I will cancel your quirk. Agreed? Okay. I agree. Here I go. Deku then enters Astral Plane and everyone just begins to stare at the screen. All for One and All Might seemingly getting ready for their last clash, charging at each other. About to connect, All for One just goes limp midair and regains consciousness, getting hit with a full-powered United States of Smash, putting him out cold. All Might then looks at the camera, pointing. It's now your turn. Then the camera just cuts out. Deku then reawakens. Whoa. That felt weird. Midoriya, you did it. Well, I stunned him, so I just helped. But now I need sleep. Infinite stamina doesn't mean anything when your body aches like hell. Deku then just passes out. Deku wakes up in the hospital. Uraraka, Bakugo, and Ida, and most of Class 1A are all there. So happy to see him awake. They begin telling him about the move into the dorms and that his mother's okay with it. Luckily, getting some time off of school before he woke up, because the amount of time he was out was a good minute.
What? How long was I out? About a week.
Yeah, Midoriya, so make sure you move around a bit to make sure your body's feeling good. Because first day back, we'll be working on super moves. After a bit of more time of rest, he returns to school to join his class in making super moves. As the training continues, he begins to work on a super move that involves his use of making multiple people phase or go into ghost form with him, making it so he can make a max of 2 people go into ghost form with him. After a couple of days, it is announced that the Class 1A will be going to try and get their Provisional Hero license. When they get there, they are greeted very nicely until Bakugo steps in and just berates the people that are being nice, because he knows that at the end of the day, UA is just a target in their eyes. After formalities, the Provisional License exam begins. You must eliminate people using rubber balls and hitting targets on their body. As it starts, most of the schools jump out to attack UA, but have a lot more pushback than canon, with the exception to the people that just went off on their own. That about goes exactly the same. UA does actually way better on this initial attack, until the students attacking them slowly get separated. Multiples of the people begin to suddenly just go still, and the students from UA capitalize on that. All the schools confused on how it's just occurring, remembers that someone from UA can possess people, but multiple at a time, that makes no sense. The students from other schools try to make their retreat, but then Sero and Uraraka force them back towards their group using his tape and boulders around them that can be moved. Essentially, like, allowing for a bigger group of Class 1A to like pass right off the bat. When they all enter, they are the first people to actually get there. Sorry. Followed by the rest of UA and most of the people who passed in canon. As the time runs out, the next portion is called the rescue portion begins. Just as usual, the students start out pretty well and begin to make the right calls in terms of saving actors in this situation, in this situation for her people. And Deku actually does a lot of the saving in terms of getting people out, because he's able to just phase them out of areas pretty easily, and phase an area, like a certain area, like maybe boulders and stuff like that, so that they can get the person through. Until a horde of villains come out with Gang Orca leading the charge. After students in sequels. So as students try on their own, basically, to stop Gang Orca, there's no avail to that. Shoto and Inasa begin to try and stop Gang Orca, getting into a minor conflict just like how they did in canon, till Deku comes over to help. Stop. Be focused at the task at hand, please. Gang Orca, staring at Deku, is about to charge. Dumb kid. You can't talk on the battlefield like that. As Gang Orca's legs are grabbed from beneath him, and he's stuck in the ground. What? He was right there a second ago. Then Deku reappears where Gang Orca saw him. Todoroki! Inasa! Now! They then create this spiral of wind and heat to defeat Gang Orca. and without being able to move, he passes out from the dryness. Aizawa, then sitting next to Miss Joke, says, "See, my kids are very prepared. That move Midoriya just made was the reason why he even defeated All Might, 2 of my students."
All Might?
That move helped beat All Might. Yep, the kid's a tricky one with his combo moves. Does them on the fly too. Good student. A little reckless, but good. Makes sense for someone who is literally a dead man walking, I guess. What do you mean? Kid died, and his Quirk brought him back. He doesn't even have a pulse. That's amazing. The exam is then called off, and in this everyone just passes. For the fact that Bakugo, for one, is a lot calmer in this canon. Not too much calmer, but you know, a little bit calmer because his relationship with Deku. And Inasa and Shoto passed because they didn't make too big of a mistake. Like, it was like Deku stopped them before they got too far. But they all get their hero provisional licenses, and after a couple more days of school, the big 3 actually come in to talk to them about work studies. After a lot of failed attempts, Mirio Togata decides to let the entirety of Class 1A fight him. Deku then decides just to not fight him, actually. He walks over to Aizawa, ready to explain, but he stops him. "I know, Midoriya, your Quirk is really good at one-on-one. You obviously know he has a point to all this. Him losing right off the bat wouldn't really work for that point he's trying to get across. I'm glad you decided voluntarily, because it looks bad on a teacher to pull you out on my own accord." Deku then just laughs and just continues to watch the fight. Everyone is just basically getting destroyed by Mirio until all of them are basically done, but they continue to stand. Midoriya now. "Okay, Mr. Aizawa." Before Mirio can take off again, he gets frozen. Okay, I think your point was made." Deku then lets go of his possession. "Good job, all of you. Let's go back to class." Mirio then talks about how his internship has made him strong, explaining to everyone that taking this role as an intern is a great idea. As everyone heads off to lunch, Bakugo, Deku, and Mirio are all called to the office. All Might then explains that he wants these 2 to intern with Night Eye. Mirio then tells him that he should just ask himself, but All Might goes against it. Mirio agrees, saying that Night Eye already wanted Midoriya, so one more should be fine. Mirio then asks Midoriya, like, "You were the one that froze me, right?" And Midoriya kind of just shakes his head. He's like, "Yeah, that was me." He's like, "Damn, kid." And when the 3 make it to the agency, like, you know, after talking for a bit, Night Eye explains that he will be talking to Bakugo first. He then tells him that if he can take this stamp the paper himself, he will take him as an intern. After about 3 minutes of fighting, Mirio and Deku and Bubble Girl re-enter. "I'll take this one, Mirio. I like his tenacity, but his attitude needs work." Deku kind of just laughs at him. "Shut up, nerd," as they both just start laughing. "Do you want to test him too, Sir Night Eye?" "Oh, Deku. Midoriya, right?" No, I don't need to." "Wait, why, if you don't mind me asking, sir?" "Mirio, you can tell that this kid will get this stamp from me. Also, his Quirk reminds me of something that happened. Let me talk to him. Bubble Girl, please exit the room." "Yes, sir." More enthusiasm this time. "Yes, sir." "Midoriya, your Quirk..." He begins to talk to Midoriya. "Midoriya, your Quirk, it allows you to possess people, right?" "Yeah, it does, but also a little bit more than that." Yes. When All Might was fighting All for One, in my vision, I saw All for One just freeze. Why is that? Well, sorry. It wasn't a question, exactly. But this is. It was you, am I right? Yes, sir, it was. Smart kid. So you were there that night? Bakugo then jumps in. No, the nerd did that from a building a good bit away. His guide was a damn TV screen. Move could have killed him. Luckily he already knew he kinda already died. But also Aizawa was there just in case to cancel his quirk. Interesting. You two have potential. You start tomorrow. Good luck. Night Eye then sends them away. Everyone in the dorm are just like fawned over the fact that they got into Night Eye's agency. Everyone then goes to sleep, and Mirio, Bakugo, and Deku go over to Night Eye's agency in the morning. He then tells them about Overhaul and to go on patrol, and the chances of fighting him are pretty low, but if you do, please do not engage. Like we don't want to ruin this investigation that we've been doing for a long time. They then begin their patrol. As all three of them begin to patrol, they come across an alleyway, and this young girl comes out running out. Deku catches her and asks if she's okay. I'm sorry, my daughter, she's a bit clumsy at times. All of them realize. Overhaul. No sir, that is our fault. We should be paying more attention, Mirio says. No. Are you guys new heroes? I haven't seen you much around here. As the convo continued, Deku and Bakugo begin to just grit their teeth and try to smile. Deku then feels the girl shaking, remembering the time he was killed by a villain. How when his body was giving out. In his head, he begins to think, this girl, she's being tortured. Come on, Eri, we have to go home. Deku then speaks. Is she okay, sir? Yes, she just falls a lot. Deku then looks at Bakugo. He then smiles at Deku, giving him the go. Deku then just vanishes, with Eri in his arms, through the ground. Mirio, feeling that this would happen, punches Overhaul right in the face, while Bakugo blasts him as well. Deku then reaches the agency and drops Eri off. We need reinforcements at Sector 3 of our patrol area right now. Deku then vanishes in front of Night Eye. I thought this would happen to those kids. Everyone, let's go, now. Do not fail, young interns. Please do not let this be your last battle. Deku then arrives at the scene, seeing Bakugo and Mirio fighting Overhaul, with spikes everywhere and scratches on both Mirio and Bakugo. Stupid heroes, I'm trying to help you make this world better. Shut up with your dumb remarks. Make the world better. You sound ridiculous. Us heroes give the world hope. You just make people fear. Dumb kid, you wouldn't understand. Deku, now! Deku then charges at him, at Overhaul. But when he goes to touch Deku, Bakugo follows up. Phantom! Explosion! Blasting one of Overhaul's hands off his... after the smoke basically arises and disappears, Overhaul is now missing a hand. Dumb kid. That doesn't matter. I'll just... No, you won't. You won't be hurting anyone anymore. Overhaul, now in his frozen state, looks at Deku. That kid... He's the one that froze all for one that day. I saw it on the TV so blatantly. The man with all the power in the world stopped in his tracks. This kid. How? What Quirk? Night Eye then come with reinforcements, including the police, putting Quirk canceling cuffs on his one hand. Kai Chisaki, you lost to some interns, the biggest mob boss on the planet, torturing a little girl. You're going away forever. The police then thank Deku, Bakugo, and Mirio for their work, and they're allowed to leave after talking about what happened first. Bakugo and Midoriya make it to the dorms talking. You know, Deku, growing up, I treated you horribly. I didn't even frankly deserve your forgiveness. And now I have the power of both of our idols. Or both of our idol. Or, you know. Yeah, Kacchan, life changes fast. Thank you, Deku. For what? For everything. You've done a lot. And I know I was horrible in the past. But I just want to be better now. And I hope I have been, at least to some extent. You have, Kacchan. Back in the day, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. We wouldn't be able to hold a conversation this long. Yeah, I guess you're right, nerd. Why you always call me a nerd? I mean, you kinda are one. Yeah, whatever, Kacchan. They then enter the dorms to all their classmates. Basically to them being concerned. And the door closes behind them, and that is the end of this movie. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. This was a pretty long one. I tried to make it as dense as possible, but I still ended up writing and doing a lot. But if you sat through this whole thing, I appreciate it. And there's one more thing I want to ask. Do you guys want to see this go into the manga? Or maybe I'll wait until season 5 finishes and maybe go into season 5? It's really up to y'all. I personally don't mind either way. We could leave it at this. I can make another part to this and have it go through the manga. Or I can wait till season 5 to go through season 5. Either way, I have no personal preference for that. I had a lot of fun making this what if. I hope you guys enjoyed the what if. It would mean a lot. Like I said, please leave a like and subscribe. It means the world to me. I'm already astounded by how much support I've been given, and I appreciate all the love and support on all these videos. I've been having so much fun doing this. And yeah, much love to all of y'all that watch my videos. I appreciate it so much, and have an amazing day. Later.
I don't wanna waste what's left.